Hey, Chef, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am wonderful. St. Louis weather here is magnificent. I can't wait to grill a little bit tonight.
Rock and roll,
So,
man.
my first question is, your resume is about a mile and a half long. You have written, been awarded, participated, sat on everything. So, my question is, what is the most stressful time you ever had cooking?
Oh my goodness. I would say what is the most stressful times in plural. Boy, that's a really interesting question. And I can think of lots of moments in my professional career when things, they just get a little crazy because my philosophy always was in the kitchen. You push yourself and you push your staff with you until the point when one little thing goes wrong and then you got some big problems. And what happens is when you push everybody to that point, that's actually where everybody's performing at peak performance. So, I mean, have there been stories of disasters? And oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember one time being in the restaurant and we had an event that evening, and it was I can't remember what I believe we were making something called brandade, and brandade is a cod preparation with mashed potatoes, etc. And one of the cooks that was cooking the fish comes up to me with my favorite line ever, which is, Chef, I think we have a problem. I love hearing that because what comes after that is never happy. And that's what he said. And
Right.
he said, Chef, I forgot it in the oven. I said, I'm sure we can make it work. I looked down, it's completely dead. I mean, dead. You can't use it. Well, the problem was they were
Right.
still coming in that night, and the fish house was closing 10 minutes later. And it was not the kind of place that would stay open for you. And I remember driving, and I don't know how many laws I broke to get there in 10 minutes
Right.
to be sure that I could pick up the fish. Because, in our business, you can't make the customer unhappy. So,
Right.
there you
Right.
have it.
That's what I was looking for specific. I ask that question a lot of people. I get very, generalities but I like a specific example. And yeah, I can imagine, there's somebody screaming and running off the side of the road because you need to get fish.
Yeah, it happens.
So, my website is grillandfools.com. So I'm more of a griller than I am a cooker or a cook per se, and most of my followers are too. So, can you give me an idea, for the guys that don't know about the elite cooking world that you're a member of? Can you give them an idea what the James Beard Foundation is and the awards? And could just give an overview of what that's all about?
Sure, absolutely. The James Beard Awards are it's like the Oscars of the food world. And what the James Beard Foundation does is they really canvass the country looking for the talents that they want to elevate. And it could be anything from best new restaurant to rising star to outstanding chef across the country. And so these are huge awards. And we're so happy that this year they're here in Chicago. 25th anniversary, big thing here in Chicago. And what does that mean? That means that we're going to have chefs from all over the country who are descending on Chicago to taste our food, go to our restaurants, to experience our food culture. And for those of us here at Kendall College, Kendall is the #1 culinary and hospitality school here in Chicago. This is a big moment for us because we share in that pride of our city to have the James Beard Awards come here.
Right.
But it's also great for our students who get to see these luminaries and imagine that someday they'll be like them. And I will also say it's been a great year for Kendall, for our alumni. 5 alumni listed as semifinalists, 2 alumni in the nominee categories, which means that's sort of the finalists, if you will, of the James Beards. And that's a big deal. One of them actually is here in Chicago. Her name is Beverly Kim. She has a restaurant called Parachute. She's up for Best New Restaurant. She was my student 16 years ago. And so you can imagine I am totally rooting for her. The restaurant's it's incredible. She even taught here for a little bit at Kendall before she opened up the restaurant to sort of experiment on some of her dishes. So that's what it's all about. It's a huge event in the food world. Everybody's going to be watching it. The amounts of tweets, etc., will be huge that evening.
Yeah, speaking of the stress in the previous question, I can see that some of your students might get maybe they'll have one of their stories when somebody asks them in 10 years from now about the most stressful food time. Like, well, there's this time, the 25th anniversary of James Beard Award was at my college, and look what happened.
Well, it's funny you say that because one of the things at Kendall that we're known for. This is a challenging place to be, and we have real restaurants here. We have 3 of them. One that serves 400 people, one that's in the Michelin Guide. They're put under a lot of pressure because that's what our business is about. You got to have passion, discipline, intensity. So yeah, I'm sure there are stories.
So, but hopefully they'll be prepared for it, and they won't miss a beat.
I
So,
hope not.
let's talk about what you're looking forward to this year. You know, you're going to have all eyes of the culinary world are on Chicago or on Kendall, on James Beard. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're looking forward to the main event. I mean, that's when everything is revealed, and we'll know who the winners are. But I think that for us going into this, there's a lot of interesting, fun things that have happened. We have a couple events that are going to happen here on campus with the James Beard Foundation, with other James Beard awardees of the past. That'll be for our students. But this year, we also spend a lot of time here at the college looking at food trends, at what's happening in the food world. Because what we have to do. Oh, look at that! Perfect. What we do is as we're about frankly quality education, which means that we have to look to the future, because we have to understand what does the world look like when our students graduate 4 years from now, and so we look at trends, and some of the trends that we've niched out and we've been following are really reinforced by what's happening with the James Beard Award nominees, what's on their menus, because these are the trend-setting chefs. And so let me give you 3 that are, I think, really fun to watch. The first is what we call old is now the new. And these are ingredients that were sort of around, they went away, they came back, or preparations. And so, for instance, cider. I'm talking about hard cider here, alcoholic, fun cider.
Right.
And that's been around for a long time.
With it. I love brining with it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what you see. Not only really interesting ciders on people's menus as beverages, but chefs are doing a ton with it. The other one there is punch, of all things. That big punch bowl with this soda and sherbet, of the past. It's not that anymore. I mean, we now have restaurants that are doing punch programs where it's about interesting bitters, it's about interesting fruit juices, unusual alcohols, all mixing together for some really interesting stuff. And of course, that gets put in the middle of the table. It's all about communal dining. So punch is back.
Right.
Now, let me give you the next big trend. That is the side is now the star. And what we're seeing is a bunch of different ingredients that have sort of been hanging out in the wings a little bit as a supporting role, now being put in the limelight. For instance, carrots. I mean, carrots have been around forever. We all ate them as kids on but now they're really center stage. We see chefs that are doing smoked carrots, that are doing miso glazed roasted carrots. We see carrot fondue. We even see carrot desserts, carrot mousse with coffee glaze, interesting stuff. And we also have something called charcuterie 2.0. Now, by the way, I do love to grill, and I also taught for a long time charcuterie. And so when I saw charcuterie plates come back a few years ago, I was like, this is amazing. But what happened is on those plates, you'd have a little dollop of mustard and a couple little pickles or whatever. Well, those ingredients are now playing center stage. So you have chefs who are doing amazing stuff with pickles, preserves, making their own mustards. It's exciting stuff. All right, last big trend that we're watching is ramen. Now, ramen's been around for a long time. We grew up with instant ramen, et cetera. Chefs a number of years ago started to say, wait a minute, this can be something very different, and we can really apply our creativity to it. What we're seeing is that ramen is actually turning into what's called a mega trend. That means it's a big trend. It's going to be with us for a long time. It is not going away. And that's because there's something in us that's sort of comfort food with ramen, and it provides a great backdrop for the chefs to be very creative with it. And so, we see things like, imagine,
It's a canvas. It's a great canvas for whatever you want to do.
Exactly. We see great creativity with it. Absolutely.
Huh. Yeah, you see ramen bars popping up all over, man. I got to figure out how to do. We're doing a little more cooking on grillandfools.com, doing cooking tools as well. And smoke something on the grill and then throw it in with some ramen. I think
rock and roll.
Combine the two.
Absolutely, that would be incredible.
How much grilling do you do on a weekly, monthly basis? I mean, your world's all about food. I mean, do you go home and just go, man, I just want to grill up a burger or smoke some ribs or anything like that?
Yeah, I do actually. No, I love grilling, and I have actually a couple different grills in my backyard. My neighbors think I'm a little nuts, but yeah, I do. Because different grills do different things. My favorite is an infrared grill because it gives super intense heat.
I got one.
I like that because that's the kind of grilling we do in the restaurant business. So yeah, I mean, this is the thing about chefs, okay? I mean, like you see all these James Beard award-winning chefs, right? They obviously, they're
Right.
passionate about food. They got huge discipline. They got huge intensity. They're super successful. But at the same time, they're just normal people too. And the thing that people
Right.
always miss about chefs, they see us in white jackets and think we're like some, we do like to go out to the grill and make a hamburger. But I will tell you, the hamburgers
Right.
that come off of my grill are pretty darn good.
You're not buying that prepackaged patty that's already patted out for you.
No. I actually have a guy who raises cattle for me, and so it starts
Right.
there. And it's we eat hamburgers, but doggone it, they're good hamburgers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you in infrared. I've got 4 infrared grills right now. I write for Charbroil, so they just sent me a new one, and the other one's going to my cousin, so I'll have 3 when this is all done. But yeah, you have a lot of grills. I have 6 grills in my backyard and 2 in my garage. I haven't unboxed yet that are sent to me. So I hear you think your neighbors think you're nuts. I don't know, in a restaurant they're just like, who's this idiot over here? It's snowing, he's grilling. What the hell? So.
Yep, I get
So
it.
you have a couple of grilling tips. Let's talk about it. Let's just give us a couple. Let's finish this off with just any tips or trends or anything
Yep.
You can give to the backyard griller or anything.
Well, I'll give you a couple quick tips for the backyard griller, and that is, number one, always start with a hot grill, and you can always turn it down. It's very hard to go the other direction because stuff sticks, etc. And then the other one is, honestly, keep stuff super clean so stuff doesn't stick. Those are the 2 big ones. And by the way, information on all that trend stuff I was talking about, people can go to kendall.edu and read a lot more about it and about the James Beard Awards in general.
Perfect.
So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great talking to you. Appreciate it.
Likewise. Happy grilling.